I'm Alicia, and I never thought my husband of 8 years would leave me on the side of a highway with nothing but the clothes on my back. "Brian, please, what are you doing?" I asked as he pulled over onto the shoulder. "Get out," he said coldly. "What? Are you serious?" "Out, now." He reached across me and opened my door. I stared at him in shock. "This is insane! We're 20 miles from town!" "Do whatever, Alicia. I don't care anymore." His face was stone. "Can I at least get my purse?" He grabbed my bag from the back seat and dumped it out the window. My wallet, keys, and phone scattered across the gravel. "There, happy?" "Brian, stop! What is happening?" "You'll figure it out." He shoved my shoulder. "Get out of my car." I stumbled onto the roadside, and he sped away before I could even stand up straight. My hands shook as I gathered my belongings. That's when I noticed my wallet was empty. No cards, no cash, nothing. "Oh my God," I whispered. A silver sedan pulled up behind me. A woman in her 40s stepped out, her expression concerned. "Are you okay?" she asked. "I saw that whole thing." I don't know," I managed. "I'm Rebecca Martinez," she said, extending her hand. "That looked pretty bad. My husband he just left me here." Tears streamed down my face. "I got everything on my dash cam," Rebecca said gently. "The whole incident." "You did?" "I'm a divorce attorney," she explained. "I was heading back from a client meeting. What he just did? That's abandonment, and it's documented." "I don't understand why he'd do this." Rebecca helped me into her car. "Has he been acting strange lately? Any unusual financial activity?" "Now that you mention it, he's been secretive with his phone, and last week I tried to use our credit card and it was declined." "When we get you somewhere safe, we need to check your accounts immediately," Rebecca said firmly. "I can't pay you. He took everything." "Don't worry about that right now. Let's just get you to my office." During the drive, my phone buzzed. A text from Brian. "Divorce papers being served tomorrow. You abandoned me. You get nothing." I showed Rebecca. "This can't be legal." "It's not," she replied. "He's trying to establish a false narrative, but we have proof of what really happened." "Why would he plan this?" "In my experience, money, control, maybe both." Rebecca glanced at me. "Does he have assets you might not know about?" "He inherited his father's construction business 2 years ago. It's worth millions. And he wants to make sure you don't get any of it in the divorce," Rebecca concluded. "So he kicks me out, claims I abandoned him, and takes everything?" "That was his plan," Rebecca said. "But he made one critical mistake." "What's that?" "He did it in front of a witness with a dash cam and a law degree." Rebecca took me to her office, where I called my sister Jessica. "Alicia, I've been trying to reach you for hours," Jessica said when she answered. "Brian dumped me on Highway 17, I told her. "He what?" "Just kicked me out of the car and drove off, said I get nothing in the divorce." "That's psycho! I'm coming to get you. Where are you?" I gave her Rebecca's office address. Within an hour, Jessica arrived with a duffel bag of clothes and toiletries. "I brought everything I thought you'd need," Jessica said, hugging me tight. "Thank you," I whispered. Rebecca sat us down in her conference room. "I checked public records. Brian filed for divorce this morning, claiming you abandoned the marriage." "That's a complete lie!" Jessica exclaimed. "I know," Rebecca said calmly, "and we can prove it, but there's more." She pulled up bank statements on her laptop. "Your joint accounts were drained 3 days ago. All $47,000 transferred to an account in Brian's name only." My stomach dropped. He's been planning this. "There's also this." Rebecca showed us property records. "He put your house on the market yesterday." "Our house?" I felt dizzy. Jessica grabbed my hand. "This is fraud, right?" "It's financial abuse and potentially illegal asset hiding," Rebecca confirmed. I have a private investigator I work with. Should I call him? Yes, I said firmly. I want to know everything Brian's been doing. Rebecca made the call. Kyle? It's Rebecca Martinez. I need a rush job. 2 days later, Kyle Anderson met us at Rebecca's office with a thick folder. Your husband's been busy, Kyle said, spreading photos across the table. This is him with Stephanie Clark. They've been seeing each other for 6 months. The photos showed Brian with a blonde woman, kissing outside a hotel. His mistress, I said numbly. It gets worse, Kyle continued. He's been funneling company money into offshore accounts. I found transfers totaling $800,000 over the past year. Jessica's eyes went wide. That's tax fraud. And embezzlement, Rebecca added. The business is partly owned by shareholders, right? His 2 partners each own 25%, I confirmed. So he's stealing from them too. Rebecca made notes. This changes everything. What do we do? I asked. We document everything, Rebecca said. Then we contact his business partners and the IRS. Won't that take forever? Actually, I know one of his partners, David Thompson. We went to law school together. Rebecca picked up her phone. Let me call him. David, it's Rebecca Martinez. Yes, it's been too long. Listen, I need to talk to you about Brian Mitchell. No, this is serious. Can you come to my office today? An hour later, David Thompson sat across from us, his face growing redder as Kyle presented the evidence. That son of a... David caught himself. Sorry, this is just... Brian's been stealing from the company? For over a year, Kyle confirmed. And I'm his wife, I added. He abandoned me on the highway 3 days ago to hide assets before the divorce. David's jaw clenched. What do you need from me? Access to company financial records, Rebecca said. And your testimony if needed. You've got it, David said without hesitation. Brian and I started that company with his father. If he's been stealing, I want him buried. Rebecca scheduled a meeting at Brian's lawyer's office, claiming we wanted to discuss settlement terms. Brian looked smug when we walked in. Ready to sign away your rights, Alicia? Not quite, I said calmly. His lawyer, Mr. Patterson, gestured to chairs. Let's keep this civil. Oh, it'll be civil, Rebecca said, opening her briefcase. Let's start with the dash cam footage from 3 days ago. She played the video. Brian's face went pale as he watched himself dump me on the highway. You claimed Alicia abandoned you, Rebecca said. This shows the opposite. That's out of context, Brian stammered. Really? Because the audio is crystal clear. Get out. Do whatever. I don't care anymore. Rebecca fast-forwarded. And here you are, throwing her belongings onto the road. Mr. Patterson looked at Brian. You told me she left you. She did, eventually. After you forced her out of a moving vehicle's vicinity, Rebecca corrected. I pulled out the bank statements. Now let's talk about the $47,000 you stole from our joint account. That's my money! It's marital assets, Rebecca countered. Taken without consent, 3 days before filing for divorce. That's illegal. Brian's lawyer was furiously taking notes. Is this true? And there's more, I continued. Kyle, would you present your findings? Kyle laid out photos of Brian and Stephanie. 6 months of documented infidelity. So what? Brian snapped. California is no fault. But this isn't. Rebecca dropped the offshore account records on the table. $800,000 in hidden assets. That's fraud. The color drained from Brian's face. Where did you get those? Your business partner, David Thompson, was very cooperative, Rebecca said. Especially when he learned you've been embezzling from the company. I haven't. You've been stealing from your partners for over a year, Kyle interrupted. We have bank records, transfer receipts, and falsified expense reports. Mr. Patterson stood up. Brian, I need to speak with you privately. Sit down, Brian growled. "This is harassment." "No, this is evidence," Rebecca said. "And we've already provided copies to David Thompson, your other partner Jake Rivera, and their attorney." "You what?" "They're filing a civil suit against you for embezzlement and breach of fiduciary duty," Rebecca explained. "They're also reporting you to the IRS." Brian lunged across the table toward me. "You destroyed my life!" Kyle stepped between us. "Don't even think about it." "You did this to yourself," I said quietly. "You got greedy, Brian. You thought you could kick me out, hide your money, and steal from your partners. You thought I'd just disappear." "I gave you everything." "You took everything," I corrected. "But I'm taking it back." 2 months later, I sat in the mediation room with Rebecca beside me. The mediator, Judge Harrison, reviewed the documents. "This is quite a case." "Your Honor, my client has been completely cooperative," Rebecca began. Brian's new lawyer, his third since Mr. Patterson quit, looked exhausted. "We'd like to discuss settlement options." "I bet you would," Rebecca said coolly. Judge Harrison looked at Brian. "Mr. Mitchell, you're facing criminal charges for embezzlement, civil suits from your business partners, and IRS investigation for tax fraud. Is that correct?" "Yes, Your Honor," Brian mumbled. "And Mrs. Mitchell is seeking the marital home valued at $650,000, plus 60% of marital assets, and $200,000 in compensatory damages." "That's correct," Rebecca confirmed. "That's everything," Brian burst out. "No," Judge Harrison said firmly. "Everything would be criminal prosecution and prison time. This is a settlement offer," Brian's lawyer whispered urgently to him. Brian shook his head. "We'll take our chances in court," his lawyer said weakly. Rebecca smiled. "Then the district attorney will be pleased. He's very interested in those offshore accounts." "Wait," Brian said suddenly. "How much prison time are we talking?" 5 to 10 years for embezzlement," Rebecca said, "plus tax evasion charges. You could be looking at 15 years total." Brian went white. "I need to talk to my lawyer. Alone." We stepped outside. Jessica was waiting in the hallway. "How's it going?" she asked. "He's panicking," I said, finally realizing what he's facing. 15 minutes later, they called us back in. Brian looked defeated. "We accept the terms," his lawyer announced. Judge Harrison prepared the paperwork. "Mr. Mitchell, you understand this is final? No appeals? No renegotiation?" "Yes, Your Honor," Brian said quietly. As I signed the settlement, Brian leaned toward me. "Alicia, I'm sorry. I was stupid. Can we talk about this?" "No," I said simply. "But I love you. I made a mistake." "You made dozens of calculated choices," I interrupted. "You drained our accounts. You hid money. You planned to leave me with nothing. That wasn't a mistake." "Please, I'll do anything." "Sign the papers," I said coldly. He signed with shaking hands. Outside, Jessica hugged me tight. "You did it!" "We did it," I corrected, looking at Rebecca. Rebecca handed me the keys to the house. "It's yours now, completely." "What happens to Brian?" Jessica asked. "His partners are forcing him out of the company," Rebecca explained. "He has to sell his shares at a loss to pay restitution, and Stephanie left him the day his accounts were frozen." "Good," Jessica said. "He deserves worse." David Thompson called me that evening. "Alicia, thank you for exposing him." "I'm just glad it's over," I said. "He would have bankrupted us all. The company's better off without him." "I'm glad something good came from this mess." "You're a fighter," David said. "Brian never knew what he had." I'd learned that revenge isn't about destruction. It's about refusing to let someone destroy you. Brian tried to erase me from my own life. but instead, he erased himself. Have you ever had someone try to take everything from you, only to watch them lose it all instead? Sometimes standing your ground is the best revenge. Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.